What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and we have some breaking news for you. Notre Dame's defensive coordinator, Clark Lea, has been named the next head coach at Vanderbilt. Big news here for a number of different reasons. I'm going to give you my reaction. You guys said you liked these reaction videos. It's not even really a video, just me talking, but this is a big deal because of Notre Dame, their national championship aspirations, and playing in a huge game on Saturday. You have to wonder how this is going to affect them. Also, another news story, not a huge story, I guess, but Dwan Mathis, quarterback from Georgia, he is heading to Temple. That was a pretty quick decision. He's headed to Temple. We'll see how he does there, and that is going to hurt the quarterback depth a little bit at Georgia for next year, but I think they'll be okay. JT Daniels has proven he is the guy. Now, I guess there's a chance he could go to the NFL. I think it's very unlikely, and that would really put Georgia in a tough spot. But again, Dwan Mathis heading to Temple, so just wanted to give you that really quickly. But yes, big story here. Clark Lea headed to Vanderbilt. And we'll look at this from the Vanderbilt side, and then also look at it from the Notre Dame side. So we start with Vanderbilt. Was this a good hire? I'm going to say no. I don't really see this being a good decision. You get another defensive-minded head coach, basically the same thing you had with Derek Mason. I'm not saying Clark Lea will not be a great coach and can't be a great coach, but I don't know that he's going to be a guy that's going to be able to come into Vanderbilt and do a whole lot for them. When you have a place where you're not going to get five-star athletes, you have to beat teams with a great offense. That's how you do it. You're not going to beat teams with a bunch of 3-stars and having a good defense. That's just not how college football works today. If you can out-scheme a defense and get more from less talented players on the offensive side of the ball, that's your best bet. And originally Vanderbilt did want to go with an offensive-minded guy, but they decided to go this route. And again, I don't necessarily think this is a great decision for them. I think they're going to be kind of stuck where they've been for the last several years when you go this route. Again, I think you needed a guy like, this may sound crazy, but what about Gus Malzahn, who's just fired from Auburn? That kind of guy, an offensive-minded head coach that could maybe come in there and move more towards his old path with a dual-threat quarterback, a team that can do a lot of things on the ground. I mean, that's probably the best path if I'm Vanderbilt, but we'll see how it works out. You know, it could be a good decision. Looking back at his track record, 2016, he was a graduate assistant at UCLA. South Dakota State, he was linebacker coach in 2007, and then in 2008. 2009, back to UCLA, linebacker coach at UCLA in 2010 and 11. So he's been coaching for a long time. 2012, linebacker coach at Bowling Green. 2013 through 15, linebacker coach at Syracuse. Then he went to Wake Forest, linebacker coach there in 2016. Coached linebackers at Notre Dame in 2017, and then he was promoted to defensive coordinator in 2018 and was still their defensive coordinator this year. So, you know, this is a guy that's done a lot, and everything's been on the defensive side of the ball. He's done an excellent job with Notre Dame's defense, no doubt about that. They have played phenomenal defense this year. They've been one of the top defenses in the country. Just going back to that North Carolina game, the way they stopped them, that was so impressive. But he's doing it with great athletes, great players. I don't necessarily know that he's going to get those type of players at Vanderbilt. Maybe I'm wrong, but again, I just don't see this being a great hire for the Commodores. But how does this affect Notre Dame? I think that's a huge story here. I've been looking to see, I don't know if this has even officially been announced, but I've been looking to see when he is planning to leave Notre Dame. Is he going to finish out the season, or is he going to leave now? You would have to think that he is going to go ahead and go to Vanderbilt with the early signing day coming up. You got to go in there and start recruiting, see if you can get some players. That leaves Notre Dame without their defensive coordinator for a huge game against, let's be honest here, this is the biggest game in Notre Dame football history, and not in history, but the biggest game in recent Notre Dame history, going back, I guess, to their national championship with Alabama. This is a huge game. There is a spot in the playoff on the line. Now, maybe they lose and it doesn't really matter, but they at least, I think, have to be competitive in this game. But again, this is a huge game for Notre Dame. It's maybe their only chance to win an ACC championship, to win a conference championship, because they're in the ACC this year. I mean, it's just a monster game for them, and to lose him is going to be a big blow when you're trying to stop an offense like Clemson. So to me, this is going to be a distraction. It's going to be an issue. We'll see how they can do. Who winds up kind of being that interim defensive coordinator for them. Again, a lot of that information as of me recording this video is not out. I did some research and just didn't really find anything. So we'll see what Notre Dame does on that side of things. They already have a really tough test playing against Trevor Lawrence in this Clemson offense, and I think it just got a little bit tougher with the loss of their defensive coordinator. So again, big blow for Notre Dame. We'll see how they play against Clemson. An interesting hire for Vanderbilt. We'll see how that works out. I personally think this maybe was not a great move, but only time will tell. Obviously, a really tough job there at Vanderbilt playing in the SEC East with all the academic requirements and everything. It's going to be tough. It's a tough job for anybody, but maybe he does a good job there. Maybe that kind of springboards him to a better job, but I don't really see him taking Vanderbilt and being SEC contenders or East contenders with this team and this program. I just don't see that happening. So I would love to know what you guys think about this, your thoughts on the hire. Comment down below. Do you think this is going to affect Notre Dame? Do you think it'll be a big deal for them? Maybe it won't be. Hard to say really right now. But again, give me your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more here on the SG1 Sports College Football Channel.